Hello, Marcia. How are you doing?
I'm okay. How are you?
Wonderful, my darling. Thank you so much. It's been a bit of time since we've had a bit of a catch up to find out how things are going after the 3-month program you went through. So
Yeah.
tell me a bit about what's been going on.
Well, I've just been choreographing a lot, and I have been doing a lot more dance classes, which for me is such a huge step because for years I haven't danced in a while. And I've been teaching a lot of classes and literally just lifting my business off the ground. So it feels so good just to be in a completely different headspace.
Oh, that's good. That's good. I'm really glad to hear it. And with the program that we went through, the 90-day transformation, what is it that made you, because I know before we started the program, you were a few months before, you'd had a bit of a dip and you were rebuilding yourself, you were refocusing your energy, and you were on this path upwards. And,
Hmm.
and then we sort of just had a little exchange in messages,
Yeah.
and I told you, oh, this is what I'm doing. And literally you were like, yeah, absolutely, sign me up. So what was it about the program that made you think, yeah, this is the right thing for me right now, this is what I need?
I think I just really wanted to try something different. I wanted to, because at that moment of time, I was in a down period of time and a lot had been going on, especially the years that we just came out of. And it felt as though now was the time to make a change. So I really needed to just boost up my energy, get my life back, get it together. And I think when I managed to speak to you for the first time, I thought, you know what? I'm going to do something different. I'm going to try something new and just go with the flow and see what happens. Right now, I'm only receiving positive energy. So why not invest in myself and just, boost myself up, invest in myself for once in my life, just, you know, think of me first.
Yeah, oh, that's beautiful, my darling. And it is such a difficult, it's such a difficult decision for us to make, to go from doing all of this outwardly stuff and making sure literally that everyone else around us has what they need,
Yeah.
feeling really, really guilty when we actually want to do something for ourselves. Like, we would, if we could, buy all the luxuries for the people around us so that they're happy and content. But when it comes to
Yeah.
actually investing in ourselves, there's like this guilt element that comes with it, which
Yeah.
is insane. And I know that whenever I've signed up for courses, I have sort of just wondered if this is the right thing for me. I've gone back and forth as to really trying to justify if I'm worth spending this much money on myself for.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because that's really the only sort of debate that I end up having. And then I
Yeah.
put myself into, why would you not? Why would you happily spend a lot of money on other people but not really invest in yourself? Was that something that you went on for you in your mind? Did you go through that?
Yeah. Definitely, because for me, my love for spending is usually travel. I'm occasionally party to perfumes, but I think a lot of the time we do spend our energy on other people, and we're happy to spend it on events, we're happy to spend on birthdays, we're happy to spend on other occasions. And for once, I just thought to myself, you know what? It's okay to spend on myself.
Mm.
It's okay to be able to put some money into myself if that makes me better, if that's able to stretch me. And for the first time, I was actually I was faced with the question, actually, what can you do for yourself? Are you willing to go this far for yourself? Are you willing to invest truly in yourself? And the answer for once was yes. So that's how it happened.
I'm so glad you did, darling. It was so wonderful to see you at the beginning of the stages, and obviously the conversations that we had and what your vision looks like for the future,
Yeah.
and being able to implement those into steps such as your vision board and even the smaller gradual things that we discuss, like it doesn't have to be so scary or a
No.
massive leap into the dreams that we have for our bigger vision. Even if we just do really small steps, you know, every day or once a week, it is progress towards what we want to achieve. Um, and so how was your experience with me during those 3 months? How did it sort of make you feel? What did you get from it? What would you say those 3 months look like for you?
I think in the beginning, I was a bit nervous. I was happy, willing, and ready to go. But a part of me was feeling a bit nervous because ultimately it's another person coming into your life, and you're gonna have to bring things up. You're not sure if you're ready to talk about things. You're not sure if you're ready to kind of go head on head on what's stopping you. And I think just the thought of being able to pursue what it is I want to do or move forward in my life was scary to me. It seemed like such a huge task. It seemed like something that almost you want to do, but you're not sure if it's obtainable. But I think maybe the first few steps just felt so comfortable with you because it felt as though we were actually going through step at a time. We had to talk about our goals. We had to talk about small tasks that we could do to change things. And to me, it became a bit more manageable. And I thought, you know what, actually, this isn't so hard. I can probably do this. And quite frankly, I'm afraid of failing a lot. So, I was kind of thinking, what if this doesn't work out the way that I want it to? What if I've set these goals for myself? What if I put these tasks forward and I feel like failing? And it became a bit scary. But actually, as we went through step at a time, I realized it's okay to sometimes not quite meet something because the next time you will go forward and you will get what you need. And that was a huge task for me, having to go through those emotions, go through those patterns and, those habits that we do. So yeah, I quite enjoyed it.
Oh, that's good. That's so good. I know exactly what you mean about the fear piece because that journey within, it's kind of scary because you don't know what you're going to uncover, what you might disrupt, within yourself.
Mm.
But it never ever is as scary as it sounds.
Yeah,
Creativity, it really isn't. And when we break it down into those smaller steps, it becomes so much more palatable, much more approachable, and you realize, actually, it's not that scary or that big a task.
yeah,
And having somebody that can move you through it and give you the guidance and the reassurance that you are making progress and giving you that power of reflection because we so easily forget how far we've come. And in
yeah,
those 3 months of us working together, I know that you've done amazing things during those months, and then you've continued to do so, which that's the aim of the game, isn't it? It's to speed up
yeah,
the process because these things can take us a lifetime to learn, just to how you can tap into a different level of power within yourself. And having somebody there almost like in your pocket just helps to get the wheels in motion a little bit quicker. I mean, we can't do the work for you. And trust me, I would probably try and do it for you, but it's everyone's journey. It's everyone's journey. And we have to, like you said, the first time you might not get it right, but it's the practice behind it.
yeah, for sure.
What a transformation is. It isn't just one step, it's gradual steps and building it up and practice until you get to that stage where you go, okay, I'm confident in this area now. Let me move to other areas that I know I need to work in within my personal professional life. So yes, it was a lovely trip with you, darling, honestly.
I feel so happy because I feel like I'm learning new skills that I didn't think I would learn. I don't know. It's one of those things where you really do have to put it into practice sometimes. And it takes just having to look at your behavior, look at your actions, look at your surroundings, just to see how to deal with things and how to manage things. And yeah, to me, it just became an eye opener and how I approach things sometimes. And I thought, you know what, time to change or time to, organize myself. How best can I stretch myself? Can I really do this? Of course I can. Just need to
Of course you
go
can.
forward. And put your foot forward, you know?
Yes, absolutely. What would you say were your top learnings then? Because I know you said you've gathered like a few skills along the way from it that you've put into practice. What would you say the top learnings were for you?
Number one, organization. I'm just, it's like internally I'm organized, but externally I'm extremely unorganized. So I think the idea of organizing and just trying to manage my time is such a task for me. It's such a huge task for me. But I felt like just being able to put things in small sections or try to think of things as smaller tasks really helped me forward. Also, I think just in general, in terms of my life, if you see my life as a huge task, for example, it's another one of those tasks that you need to break down into small chunks in order to do it. I'm so ambitious. I've got loads of plans and dreams and things I want to do that are quite huge. But, ultimately you need to break them down in order to do that. And so I think just thinking about like my approach and how to get what I want to do in life, it felt like a new skill that I was learning. I actually had to see my vision on a board. We had vision boards. We had to talk through our goals. What's the best way to do something? And by this time, what could you have done by this time in order to achieve those things? And it actually put my life into a certain perspective in order to do that. So yeah, I feel like I've been applying this kind of approach to different things, even if it's not a huge, huge goal. It's a small goal for the week. What can I do during the week in order to break this down? So by the end, or by the time that I need to do it, it's done. And yeah, it just felt like such a huge skill to learn. And I think it's something people need to, if people approach their life in that way and the daunting tasks in that way, it's a lot more manageable.
And I think you've hit the nail on the head there. When you are an ambitious woman, you've got so many dreams, visions of what you want to create, even though you've already created so much in your life, there's still like mountains, it feels like.
Yeah.
And in having that sort of time management and organization around your days, your weeks, and then following into months, you actually get that time back for yourself as well, which I think a lot of ambitious women do not prioritize making time for. And it's really that fine balance between, remember we were talking about the feminine and the masculine. Masculine is do, plan, action, all that kind of stuff. And then the feminine bit, we just tend to neglect. It's not a priority. And that's where you really need that fine balance to make sure that what you are actioning and, creating in your masculine is coming from that source of inspiration, meditation, just a spiritual connection within yourself. It's a good idea that you want to manifest in your life. It's coming from that feminine space. So I know we had to work quite a bit through that. And there were moments where you're like, I just had this argument with something. And I was like, you're masculine.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah, you have to just think about, calm down, start again,
A lot of it, like stepping into the feminine, doesn't come naturally when you are so driven and ambitious.
Yeah.
I know the idea of just meditating and feeling like, oh my God, I can't stop my thoughts. Like it's just, am I doing it right? And overthinking it and kind of, it can be a little bit scary to approach because we have this idea that we need to be doing everything perfectly. But once you started doing it, you were like, I want to do more of this. This is good.
Yeah.
Like this isn't that bad. First few times a little bit difficult. Then afterwards you start to realize the benefits that come with that balance of the masculine and feminine. So yes. So okay, to wrap it up.
Yeah.
Looking back before we started, the place that you were in then, and then the 3 months up until now, what are the new things that you, Marcia, have created in your life? What are the big bucket list items, the realizations? Take me through the sort of journey that you've taken from starting to work with me up until now.
So I have I have started to take more classes. So that is already a huge thing for me because it was an area of my life. I come from performing background and an acting background, a singing background. And I think for many years I had put it in a box in the attic somewhere. And I just wasn't ready to delve into that again because in my mind I felt like, that's the past, leave it behind. You don't belong in that space anymore. And I feel like just going through this process that I had with you allowed me to open up and to realize I have a lot more that I can achieve. And I have more drive in me and more skills to be able to move forward and do what I need to do. So one of the first things I did was to start doing classes. And it was a scary task for me because in my mind, for the first time, it felt like, wow, I'm about to enter this space where I felt I didn't belong. And I went there and I did it just fine. One class turned into two, turned into three. And now I'm, you can't stop me. I'm always in class.
Don't downplay it, just fine. You absolutely smashed it. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah,
I witnessed.
Yeah, you're witness. I'm not too shabby. So, something I think, because when it's been a long time, you almost feel like you've lost all your skills. You can't dance anymore. You're no longer as strong. There are younger people, able to do this and enter this space. And, you feel like the granny coming in. But, I went in the space and I owned the space. I managed to do the classes and these classes led to opportunities. So, I was approached to do music video. So that was like, whoa, choreography dream to start off with. I'm now choreographing for an artist that is planning to release his track in the summer. So I've had to work on that. I'm choreographing a 30-minute show, which I'm in the middle of rehearsals for. A person's also approached me to do a hip hop showcase. So all these things are sort of coming up all of a sudden. And I thought, wow, this is the start of life. And even with my dance fitness that I teach, I remember the time when I started to do them on Zoom, it felt like such a long way away to doing classes in person. I was doing classes on Zoom, just a 40-minute session with whoever would show up into the Zoom meeting during lockdown. And now I'm back to face-to-face classes. I've got a regular slot. I was doing a regular slot in Roehampton, doing another regular slot in Clapham. So I had two going at the same time. And now I'm being approached by people outside to do workshops elsewhere. So I'm now going to Swindon to do a workshop. It feels like the beginning of life, a rebirth, I'm really pleased. I'm really pleased. And, to be honest, I owe you so much because this was such an eye-opener for me. This was such a space where I was able to, have somebody who didn't judge me, who I was able to be comfortable very quickly and just open up openly and honestly. And, it was, there's some times I'm sure you woke up and thought, oh God,
Never.
No, but, like, a person when they go through their emotions, especially when they come from a dark place or a place where they were down, it comes with a lot of emotions, anxiety, all sorts of things that are testing for us. So I feel like I can really see the other side right now, and it's looking great. It's looking very bright.
Oh, I'm happy for you. Honestly, you have come such a long way, and it's just. The thing is with when you coach your clients, like you want them to have that immediate, the first day, all of a sudden, and all these creations. But like anything, it is a process and it's a build up of momentum. And then you get your confidence, you get more exposure, new opportunities come for you. And there's so much more to come. Like, I know it, you know it.
Yeah.
So to wrap things up, what is the next big thing for Marcia? What is it that you want to do next?
I think right now I'm in the process of building myself up as a brand. So I'm really putting myself forward as the choreographer. But ultimately, I am going to have a studio. I'm going to have a dance studio, a place where people can get together. I'm going to create a physical building that I'm going to put together so that people can, you know, really open up and use their skills. I would love to be able to do 2 projects, one in London, one in Ghana. So these feel like huge goals and tasks. But right now, I want to roll right now, and I'm ready to go.
Absolutely. And anything is possible. You know that.
Yeah.
Anything is possible. It just, like we said, it's just breaking it down into steps and letting it all unfold. You've got it on your vision board. You've got the clarity on exactly what it is that you want to achieve. Don't let the how question stop you from ever trying to get there, because we can get so bogged down with wanting to know now how is it going to happen? How is it going to work out? Just take it a step at a time. And I want to go and visit you in your dance studio in Ghana. Like,
you're welcome always.
I will be there. I will be booking a flight.
We might have a room, you know, we always name little studio rooms. Each room always tends to have a name, like, you know, in bass they tend to have Timberlake or Chaplin. We might name one Savannah.
Oh,
the Savannah room. It's the time to woosa.
Yes, it will be the Zen room.
Yeah.
Oh, amazing. Thank you so much for sharing, darling. I really appreciate it.
No, thank you.
It's not always easy, because it's a personal thing, isn't it? About our growth and our fears and what we perceive as being our limitations. But, you know, that's where we grow past that. You know, we grow through it, and wonderful things that you're creating. And I know I can say long may it continue, but I know it will continue. So thank you so much for sharing, my darling. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
I'm obviously going to stay in touch.
Yes, of course. You've got a room named after you now. You can't go anywhere.
Yes, exactly. Our connections don't last for 3 months. That's not how it happens.
No.
It's lifetime access. All right, my darling. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Wishing you all the best.
See you.